Hello. So, I just wanted to make a quick stream slash video talking about something that I found kind of interesting recently. And that is short form content. And this video in specific has to do with that. It also has to do with another subject, which I'll talk on a little bit because I have some opinions. But I just wanted to go over it. And also, I just got off work. I'm just in scrubs. I put this on because I thought it'd be, wanted to be a little, cute for the camera, some might say. But regardless, yeah. I am in the medical field. I am a nursing assistant and a medication technician, and I have a lot of experience in a lot of different sides of the field. So yeah. Anyways, let's just get right into the video itself. This is a video that I saw, short form content, Asmongold clip, okay? On a Dr. Mike Jubilee video. So, let's watch it.
The future is cooked? What's this?
On another note, if there's fluoride in the water and fluoride in the toothpaste and chemicals in our food, there comes a point where these things start stacking up, and I would much
Debuffs.
rather have kids with cavities than kids with neurological issues. You know what I mean?
That's a false choice.
It's-
You're not choosing kids with neurologic disease or cavities. That's not really the two choices you're making
Yeah.
when you're making that
So
decision.
then what's the choice?
So here's what's interesting, okay? That's true to an extent. Is like, well, from his perspective, that's true. Because he doesn't believe that fluoride is bad for you. You know, he doesn't believe that fluoride affects your neurological abilities.
So I guess my question to you is, when you say chemicals, like oxygen's a chemical, water's a chemical.
She's obviously not talking about oxygen and water.
There's a difference between
Yeah, she's obviously not
endogenous
talking
chemicals,
about
things
that.
that I can make my body makes, right?
Right.
And exogenous chemicals that
But does
come
your
from
body make
external-
water?
Does my body make fluoride?
But does your body make
So Dr. Mike here is trying to make a point to express his point of view. He's trying to give an example. And this video, short form video, breaks it up in a way that makes people kind of lose that. They didn't quite grasp it.
what? They're
I was
called.
born with water.
you-
You know what I mean? I wasn't born with fluoride in my
Yeah,
body.
but the water came from your parent,
My what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
From
my
your
parent,
parent.
of course, but
who
I didn't
got
get
water
any...
from the environment.
Yeah.
That's fine, but like,
So there's
where
certain
did the
things
first
we need.
single-celled amoeba get the water from?
The entire
So
conversation. Just bullshit.
yeah, so he didn't like that conversation. And so, of course, what I do when I see some interesting content like that, in the comments of that Asmongold video, everyone's talking about, like, they didn't really understand why Dr. Mike was even saying that. Why did Dr. Mike change the subject? The truth is, he didn't change the subject. He was actually trying to get to the underlying logic behind what he was saying, and his point was, not all chemicals are bad chemicals. Some chemicals are good. Just because fluoride might be a chemical doesn't mean that it is bad for you. Do I agree with that? No, I don't agree with that. I think that fluoride shouldn't be just in the water for everyone. I think that if you want to drink fluoride, that should be your personal choice. But to make that a overlying blanket thing for everyone in the United States, I think that that's absolutely ridiculous, and it should be a choice. You know, there's no benefit to drinking it. There's only benefit as a topical drug or chemical or whatever you might say. But let's watch the Jubilee video that explains it more, and everyone in these comments probably wouldn't be freaking out as much if they understood it. There's also a reason why I don't like these Jubilee videos. They start to kind of get into the conversation, and then they just cut it off.
Hello, hello.
Nice to meet you,
Pleasure.
Mike.
Nice
How
to
are
meet
you?
as well.
Gotta turn this one up.
I'm excited to be here because, a lot of times when people do these debates, folks want to win, and genuinely, I want to learn from you guys and learn what we're doing wrong in healthcare that's impacting you. So I'm all ears.
I completely agree. It's not about winning, it's about getting to the truth And I think we all can agree that we all want the truth. And that's why, that's one of the reasons why I support RFK.
So she believes that fluoride's bad for you and essentially affects your cognitive ability, which it has been shown in studies, not proven, but it's been shown in studies that yes, it does correlate with a lower IQ, similar to the same studies done with lead. So it has been shown that in high amounts, fluoride can affect you in the same way that lead does from
is
a
because
young
he
age.
supports transparency,
Okay.
and especially with like vaccines and healthcare and everything like that.
If you consume it.
Another thing
not if you
about
brush your
RFK
teeth
is
with
that
it.
he's
It's fine.
working to get fluoride out of the water. Why do we have fluoride in the water in the first place? Is it for dental care? I think that's an individual thing.
It's for dental care, and the reason is it was an idea. They tested it out, I think, in the 1940s, and it worked in the 1940s. So they continued to use it, and they made it more of a widespread thing. And actually, in that community that they tested it in, dental cavity issues went down significantly.
If you want strong teeth, you should probably just brush your teeth and floss. You know what I mean? You shouldn't rely on a
Yeah.
government regulated system of our water system to give you good dental care. Like, I feel like there's ulterior motives.
Are
you
you,
know what I mean?
against government
It's one of those things where in the medical field, we believe in the everyone has the right of choice, right? So you have the right to drink soda and not brush your teeth. And in that same way, if people don't want to brush their teeth and use fluoride, they shouldn't have to. So by doing that, you know, you're but we shouldn't be putting it in the water to, you know, sneakily fix people's problems that they don't even care about.
programs that try and help groups of people as opposed to just individuals?
Not necessarily. It just depends on what it is.
Well, because when we say in America that the chronic health diseases in children is going up, it is. And I think I agree with everyone here on that. Statistics don't lie. But one of those chronic issues is dental disease. So
You
if
know
we
what I
can
think
do
can
something.
be improved by that? I think parents should stop giving their children so much sugar. Or maybe we should look at the food industry
agree.
and ask why there's so much sugar in absolutely everything.
Can you walk and chew gum at the same time?
Are you going to bring up correlation?
No.
Yeah, you can walk and chew gum at the
So
same
you
time.
can do both things. Like, why can't we encourage patients and parents to not overfeed their kids
We can.
added sugars
We can.
and make government programs that improve children's health?
But there's no point, like, why would I want water with an extra ingredient if I could just have pure water? You know what I mean? Why would I need a government organization
can
to
buy
put
water
a
without
chemical-
fluoride
But
in
why
it.
should I have to buy it? I think water, obviously, nothing's free, but like water without chemicals should be free to get. If I want to drink out of my faucet, I should be able to do that without having fluoride in it, without having to worry about fluoridosis or any other, like, you know, over fluoridation, you know, in my body.
I agree, you know, or like as a group, maybe that's something we should just vote on, you know, like a democratic republic. I mean, I don't believe that we should all be forced, you know, to be drinking fluoride water. I don't think everyone knows. It's not really like a widely known thing that fluoride actually in high doses can cause these neurological issues.
Why would I not be
And you're against
privy to that?
buying a filter to get rid of
I'm not against
right?
that, but why should I have to go out and buy that?
Well, because everything,
know what I mean?
everything in healthcare or public health always has a trade-off. Like if I'm giving anyone any medication, any therapy, there's always risks and benefits. So when we think about the benefit of putting fluoride in water in order to get kids to have healthier teeth, we think about the impact.
The benefit is that they have healthy teeth. The downside is that they're stupid. And what they could do instead is, you know, try to, you know, I mean, if people are feeding their kids frozen pizzas and candy every single day, take those kids away from those parents. That, I mean, It's child abuse, in my opinion. But you know, there were
on the general population. And in fact, you're right. There's been some research that shows people who have high levels of fluoride, especially children. Actually, this doesn't apply to adults at all, but only for children. They can have neurologic issues.
Exactly.
Yeah, only
However,
applies to children. When you're an adult, it does not matter if you're consuming fluoride. But I would be interested in seeing the studies of a pregnant woman consuming fluoride and then passing that down to their baby.
It's very important to look at the numbers and the areas that were studied, because certain areas, like in Asia, they have naturally very high levels of fluoride, not added by the government, natural occurring fluoride. And those numbers are quite high. So it really depends on what that number is and what that safe number is.
The thing about Asia is if that's naturally in the water, then people from Asia are naturally adapted to that, which means it wouldn't like
So if
affect
you moved
them.
to Asia, you would have neurologic issues?
If you said it didn't apply to adults, then maybe not, because I'm
I mean,
already,
as a child.
as a child, probably. If you're not from that area, your body's not adapted to that, which means if there's studies shown that people who have high levels of fluoride in their body.
I mean, potentially, but nowhere else in the world do they add fluoride. And one question I would have was, do they filter it out? I don't know. I'd be interested in looking into that, though. Just because they have naturally high amounts of fluoride in their water, does that mean that they just drink it that way, or do they filter out the fluoride?
They have neurological issues, then yeah, I'm sure that they would.
Well,
but also, on another note, hold on one second. On another note, why? Because if there's fluoride in the water and fluoride in the toothpaste and chemicals in our food, there comes a point where these things start stacking up. And I would much rather have kids with cavities than kids with neurological issues. You know what I mean?
That's a false choice.
It's-
You're not choosing kids with neurologic disease or cavities. That's not really the two choices you're making when you're making that
So
decision.
then what's the choice?
So I guess my question to you is, when you say chemicals, like oxygen's a chemical, water's a chemical. So how do I am trying to really get down to the core of your argument to better understand you. I'm not
Okay.
trying to get you in a gotcha.
And that's kind of the part that it doesn't show, is that actually she fully understands what he is trying to get at and what he is trying to do. He's trying to like get at the underlying thing, and this is the thing that people in those comments were talking about, is they didn't understand why he just suddenly changed the conversation. He was still having the same conversation. He was just trying to get to the underlying aspect of it.
Promise.
Yeah.
So like, how do you decide what a chemical is? Is dihydrogen monoxide a chemical in your book?
Dihydrate, can you give me like the short version?
Dihydrogen monoxide.
Is that oxygen?
No, that's water.
Water. Oh, water.
But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can
I'm
make
not
anything.
a chemist or anything.
But I'm not trying to trick you.
No,
The
that's
point
a
is to show
compound. That's a
you
compound.
what's a chemical.
There's a thing, but there's a difference between endogenous chemicals, things that I can make, my body makes, right?
Right.
And exogenous chemicals that.
But does
come
your
from
body make
external-
water?
Does my body make fluoride?
But does your body make water?
Oh.
You need water to live.
I need water to live. Okay, but my body is 72% water, which means that I am fully made of water. Like I was
Like,
born.
we need
I was
essential
born
amino
with water.
acids. They're
I was
called-
born with water.
you-
You know what I
And his point is that in high doses, water can kill you. In high doses, fluoride can make you dumb. So, or, you know, have similar effects on you as lead if you are under a certain level of development, if you're younger. So, in that way, fluoride isn't inherently negative or bad for people to be drinking, but it does, you know, there are certain aspects of it that are not great.
mean? I wasn't born with fluoride in my
Yeah, but the
system.
water came from your parent,
My what? Yeah,
from
my
your
parent,
parent,
of course, but
who
I didn't
got
get
water
any,
from the environment.
That's fine, but like,
So there's
where
certain
did the
things
first
we need.
single-celled amoeba get the water from? You know what I mean? Like any living being has water, right? But
But
not
we
everything.
need the water to survive. We need
That's
food
fine.
to
We're
survive.
not here to debate about water. So what's your point?
My point is, how do you decide what's a bad chemical versus a good chemical?
The effects on the body.
Okay,
Right.
pause. We're out of time.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyways, a lot of people were confused about what was going on when I go back and look
The
at
future-
the comments of this video, of this little short form video. I don't know what this means. Him wearing scrubs is the biggest gaslight. I mean, I don't think that that necessarily what he is saying is like terrible, you know? Like the trade-off of putting fluoride in the water. People have healthier teeth. Kids might lose like 5 IQ digits, you know? I mean, it's certainly I think it's a waste of our resources. And then he said, don't ask, why can't we have water without any fluoride in it? Ask, why are you obsessed with putting it in there? Yeah, I totally agree. He just pretended that he didn't understand her. He knew what her argument was. And then again, if you go back and watch the whole video, he did understand her. There was more to the conversation besides this one cut up little clip. If Trust the Science was a person, Bro seasons his water with fluoride. He refused to answer her and just deflected her instead. He did answer her a lot, you know, like we just saw when we watched the whole video. So this is one of my main problems with short form content. It's not necessarily that this short form video doesn't summarize the conversation well, because I think it does. But if you watch that and you just make assumptions that, oh, this must have been the entire conversation, and you don't read into little things, or maybe you don't watch Dr. Mike that much. Like, I haven't necessarily watched Dr. Mike in a while, but I have watched my fair share of videos. I like him. I don't agree with him on everything, but I like the guy. I think he makes good content, and he's generally just trying to do good. But then there's a bunch of people attacking Dr. Mike down here. That's a false choice, gives her false you know, they're both substances that we take. They both, if you take too much water, you know, it can kill you. Fluoride, extremely advantageous to our teeth. Very, very healthy for your teeth. Adding fluoride to water is illegal here in Sweden. They tried it in the 70s for a while and then made it illegal. Just because something's illegal doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. That's just the government doing something or making a general rule to prevent something from happening. I'm sure that the people voted against fluoride being added to the water. I don't think that fluoride should be added to the water. What the F is this dude even trying to argue? See, a lot of people just going like completely over their head. So if you don't want to be like these guys, I think that short form content makes people stupid, uneducated. If you do watch short form content and you see something that may convince you or change or alter your opinion, don't just stop there. Actually look into the subject. If a short form video convinces you of something, do more, because there's no way that you can look at a 10-second clip and let your whole opinion on that topic be altered. What I did was I looked at both sides of the opinion. I looked at I watched videos about people for fluoride in water, and then I watched videos about people against fluoride in water. And I watched the actual the video source of this clip. And I tend to agree with the lady more. Does that mean that what Dr. Mike was saying or trying to explain is completely stupid and invalid? No, I think he has his own opinion. He thinks that he believes in something that's a little bit more socialist. She believes in something that's a little bit more like, that should be personal choice. We should have the choice to, have our teeth rot out if we want to. That should be up to the parents, or maybe we should go about it a different way by changing the eating habits of Americans, because in a lot of other countries, they don't have fluoride in the water. They just eat differently. If you eat less sugar and less processed foods, you won't get cavities as much. And that, I mean, that's been proven. That's an obvious one, you know? Anyways, that was pretty much all I had. I wanted to talk about short form content, maybe change people's minds on this a lot. And, you know, it's not just this. This made me go, wow, here's a great example of this situation. Or here's a great example of this just thing that's been happening a lot lately. People see a short form video, they think that this must be the truth because it convinces them, you know? And then you read the comments and you're like, oh wow, everyone has this opinion, you know? And these people don't really have the full picture. So that's it. Next time you see a short form video, look more into it. Don't just stop there, you know? Educate yourself a little bit. Try to understand both sides and both points of views, because if you just only listen to one person, you're essentially locking yourself in an echo chamber. Anyways, that's all I want to talk about. And everyone, you guys have a good one. I will be trying to post videos more, trying to watch more content like this, streaming more often. Yeah.